Something I promised that I would do for folks on our Discord is take a look at trades and do some reviews. Some people need a little bit of help on picking out targets and really actually understanding options. So I want to take my expertise and help as much as I can in the process by making them into a video. Hopefully other people can benefit from it as well. So this one comes from Josh. And Josh got into win a little bit after earnings here. I think on 8.5. And he did an option play. He took the 80 December call, and according to him, he got it for 8.95. So maybe I'm off on my day, but I'm going to go with that 8.95. And I'm going to use the on-demand feature in Thinkorswim, which is fantastic. I can go back to any time, any date, any instrument, just like this, and I can see where it was, in this case, at August 5th at 10 a.m. It was trading at $73.26, and here's our option chain, so we can see everything going on. And Josh listened to me because I had mentioned how a good idea when you're trying to take long-term options, note, not weekly options that most people want to do, like lottery tickets, is you want to try to get in the next earnings cycle. And this could be coming out sometime in November. And so if we take a December option, we're going to go really kind of far out in time, but we're going to include in that November earnings so that we can get the pump, the potential movement leading up to earnings, as well as the volatility push to offset some of that theta. We're also going to buy ourselves a lot of time to be right in this trade. So I really like it that he listened to me and took that. So let's go back to the daily. And at first, what you'd be looking at, playing it off the bottoms here, because, you know, it's a nice, easy to see support. You know, we're not going to try to be too fancy with channels and wedges and things like that. We're just going to draw a horizontal line. We're saying we're coming off this support after earnings. We didn't come below it. That's what we're going to try to play. So the first level of resistance, of course, is going to be 86. All right. So when we went and looked at this yesterday, I'll bring up the risk graph. So another great tool in Thinkorswim is going to be the risk graph. And what this is going to show us is the blue line is where the price of that option is going to be at expiration based on the price of the stock, which is down here on the x-axis. So you see how at expiration, if we have the 80 call and if we expire on 12/19/20 over here, we're going to lose the full value because, well, that's right below in the money if we don't get to 80. However, if we look at the purple line, that's going to show us the theoretical price based on the date that we have evaluated, which in this case is 8/11. So you notice how when we got to 86, which was our target that we got to today, we are up about $795. Now we paid $895 for this, $895. We have to assume that that's going to be our max risk. And so if we took profit here at 86, we're really barely getting a 1-to-1 on our reward to risk. And we need better, because we're not going to win every single one of these options. We're definitely not. We're probably going to assume that we're going to lose more than we're actually going to win. So we need to get at least a 2-to-1. So the question then becomes, where is that 2-to-1? Let's choose another target. Let's just say we zoom out a little bit and we see if we can find another place where price does an inflection. Again, I'm just using nice, simple horizontal lines. Right up here, the June high that we got up to, if we draw a line here and we see, okay, well, we're getting into level about 105. Let's call it 106. So that's that June high that we got to there. And it's also going to be this nice inflection point back here in last year. Going back even further, yeah, this makes a nice clear level for us to shoot for. Could go above it, could not hit it. We don't know, but that's what we're going to shoot for. And now let's go to our risk graph and let's see what that's going to look like. So we can add a price slice here. And we can say 106. And so at 106, if we were in today, 811, we would get about $2,200. There we're getting more than our 2-to-1 because we paid about $900 for this. But that's just for today's. And obviously we're not going to get that big a movement in just one day. So what would be a reasonable time for it to get to this point? Let's go to the weekly so we can see some more time. Price can move any speed at once. You know, here in March we came up very, very quickly, whereas another time, sometimes pricing kind of mess around, go nowhere, and be very slow. But let's just say we're going to give it about 7 bars or 7 weeks, a month and a half. And so out to about 9/21. That would be like a very good case that we could get to 106. So let's see what that looks like. So on that date, we would still, if we got to 106, be up 2 grand. We haven't lost that much in theta. And that would be our 2-to-1. And that's a really good return on this option that we can look for. What if it took a little bit longer? Well, let's say that price kind of dances around, takes its merry time, and it actually doesn't get up there until right before earnings. Earnings is going to be on 11/4. Draw a line there. So what if it got there on the day before earnings, which would be 11/3/2020? On this date and time, if we got to 106 by then, we would have 1850. That's pretty acceptable. It's not what we want with a 2-to-1, but it gets us there. And my advice to most people is to close out your options before earnings. The reason for that is you don't know what's going to happen. Earnings are a coin flip. I've seen earnings that beat and the stock goes down. Earnings that miss and the stock goes up. It is a coin flip. Go ahead and close it. Don't be a gambler. Just take the money off the table and avoid the volatility crush that is guaranteed to happen in that option. So the two things I said for Josh to look for in planning out this trade is for a price target of getting up to 106 between now and the day right before earnings. And no matter what, because remember this option expires in December, we'll only have a few days left after earnings. Go ahead and just close it out right before. And that's going to be the plan for this trade that he's in. The next trade I did live with Pern for TRVN. You bought it at 341, right?
Yep.
What day did you buy it on?
Yesterday.
So what was going through your head when you did that?
Fucking not much, but my eyes lit up green. Oh, it's going to jump.
So you saw something that was up on the day and you wanted to chase after it.
Yep, and I'm not sure what was going through my mind. I've been making shitty plays like the last.
Well, let's not don't be so hard on yourself. Just pay attention to what was going through your head. Like, so you saw something was up and you thought it was going to continue just like that in your favor.
Yeah, I thought it was at least going to hit 5. But I still do. I still think it could possibly within, a week or two. But
you bought it so damn high though. Like,
I know
it's
so
a lot
damn
more
high.
for it to come down than it is to go up. Like today, like I bought, Tesla and Roku because they were down. They were negative in the red today. Because that's where opportunity is going to be found. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you have to detach yourself from this, wanting to chase that everyone else does. Because, if you're going to do that, it needs to be within some kind of a system. Like, if it's breaking the all-time high. And, like, the high from, like, last week on TRVN was, let's see. It was about 348. Now, if you had bought it at 349, and then when it came back below that high, you got out, I would be okay. That would be, you're playing the break of the high, but you're not going to let it go against you like it is now. Do you see how much more sense that would make?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you going to do now?
Wait till it gets close to the high and fucking...
When are you going to get out?
1 second. I want to look at the chart real quickly. Like what range that I'm thinking about?
No. When are you going to accept the loss?
I'm almost accepting it now.
There's no almost. The price is still moving.
Part of me, I don't know. Part of me wants to just get rid of it now, and the other part.
What are you going to do? Make a decision.
Just going to take the loss and fucking take it to the chin like a man.
Do what you got to do. But you see what I'm saying to you? Like, there's a strategy in trying to play things that are going up, but you have to be disciplined in it. You have to play what you're going to play, which is a break of the high. You can't just jump in because you feel like it. You know better than that. But you can say, okay, if it breaks the all-time high, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to try to play it up from there. Because sometimes things do break and make new highs, right?
Yeah.
So that's a play. That's a strategy. That's something that you can do to make money. But at the same time, if it doesn't break that high and it comes back below that high, then it's not doing what you think it should be doing. And you need to get out. And you need to take that small loss so it doesn't become a big loss. And then you just need to move on. And you'll be okay taking a bunch of these small losers, because then one of these days you're going to get a big winner. It's going to make up for all of them. It's really just that simple.
Yeah, the funny part was that was my big winner too the other day, but I sold out early. I did some math, and if I would have held, I bought it at $1.98. and then I sold out at like 220 and made like $80 in profit. And I should have
Okay.
held because
Well, I
I
mean,
would
and
have
then what are you down right now dollar wise on this?
on TRBN
Yeah, you made money. You made $80 on it. What'd you lose this time?
about 200. So
Jesus.
really only like
What did you like?
yeah.
Did you buy the same number of shares?
Not exactly, but I bought like 100 less than what I had last time.
Okay, so, oh, well that's a start at least. I mean, at least you didn't double up or something like that. But you see, this is, this is what you got to correct if you want to make money. All right, you need to get your losses in line with your winners. In other words, like if you're gonna make $80 on something, the most that you need to be losing on something is like
80
$30.
30.
Yeah, because you gotta make your
Gotta make
losers
some
smaller than your
winners.
winners.
Right.
So it's like if you're looking at this and say you went in at what is it, 341, you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like you needed to only give it maybe about let's see, if you make like 30 cents if you did like 100 shares, right? Because that'd be like $30. So once it got down to like 3.1, you needed to get out and just take the loss, and then you would have only been down $30, and then on TRVN, you would still be up 50. You got to get really nimble with plays like that. I know you're probably like under your day trade limit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we can't do that. We got to be you just can't play these. You cannot play these unless you can get in and out very quickly. You're just gonna have to find something else to do, man. You're just gonna keep losing money. I'm trying to be real with you.
Oh, I know. I appreciate it. Most people, aren't real with you.
Well, most people.
That's why I actually like talking to you because you fucking actually make me think and set me straight. You're not like, whoa, just keep holding, it's gonna go up, or just give me false advice. You give me the harsh, simple truth, which plain and simple. That's what I need right now.
So this next trade evaluated a request by Dustin in the chat, and he didn't have time to sit on it with me, but we're going to talk about what he's got going on and what I would recommend. So we're looking at HCSG. We bought at 23, 12 shares. He wants to swing trade this, meaning we're going to look at a week to 1 month, and he wants to add more as it goes along, perhaps getting himself up to 50 shares. So I like it that he's planning this out and he's not going all in to begin with. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with. On a technical level, I don't see any clear horizontal lines of support resistance. I mean, maybe we could say that we get down to some of these levels and it would be a support. We're kind of in the lows here. I'm not going to go back that far to look. We're not going to get that much from a monthly either. So let's just look at this from a risk and reward standpoint. All right, so we bought the 12 shares at 23. The obvious target for us to look for is going to be to get back up to the top right here at 27. And so what's the distance here? If we, from our entry to here, that we could get to probably a first target. So that's going to be 4.58. That would be our target that we're looking for, about 20% up. So if we're looking at this from, say, a 2-to-1 perspective, then about 2.29 is about where we want to see our risk. And unfortunately, what happens is that puts our risk right at the bottom here. So that presents a problem for us. If we come down to here, price could very well come down and bounce off these supports. If anything, I was looking for a way to enter into this. This would have been the level, around 20.81. So we're not going to be able to really get that. We can't really say that's going to be our stop. So what's going to be smarter is if we go for a little bit of a tighter stop. Okay, so what we should do then is we should look at maybe not letting it go past this last low right here. And so this would be where I would put my stop. Now what happens is we're only risking about $1 to make about a little over $4.50. I like this. I like this from a risk reward perspective, because if you do enough of these trades where you only give up $1 and you make more than 4, you're going to be a winner in the long run. You may not win as many trades as you lose, but you're going to have a chance to stay in the game and actually make money with some of these big winners. And so this is how I would actually play it. And I know sometimes it sucks to take a loss. But in trading, you have to. You have to plan for something like this to happen. And even if it comes down to your stop and it gets out and then it turns right back around, it doesn't matter. You have to take what the market gives you. And if you do this diligently enough, I promise you, you will end up on top. It doesn't feel like it in the moment from a trade-to-trade basis, but your system has to be set up for you to win. And that means taking small losers and big winners. It's just that simple. You just have to be disciplined enough to do it. So this is what I would look for in this trade. I hope this helps our folks in the Discord. If you have any questions, pop in, ask me. Hopefully we can do this live so I don't have to go back and record it. Also, I want to be able to let people ask questions. I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, so take what I say with a grain of salt and with your own analysis. I just want to help people get better at trading. I'm not selling a system. I'm not selling a method. I'm not telling you what to buy, what to sell. I just want you to get better with your own trading. So any way I can help people do that, just let me know. Thanks, guys. See you next time.